Here we are at another viewpoint. We love Shan State. So I put on my Shan shirt again and I bought their new light. Right, and to continue with the next the next verse 37. So we ended off with Joseph being born. That's a sign of Jacob, go back to your land. Jacob then speaking with Laban, let me go, send me off. Laban, no way, because God is blessing me because of you. They come to an agreement. Jacob will just take certain of the flock, the striped, spotted, and the black of the sheep, and the same except the black of the goats. Okay, so then Laban took all. This is where we ended off. So let's continue. Verse 37. Then Jacob took fresh sticks of poplar and almond and plane trees and peeled white streaks in them, exposing the white of the sticks. Okay, so this is like what Jacob is now going to do. We don't exactly understand what is going on here, right? But this is something he's doing. Maybe it was some of the belief they had there, and if you do this, then that is kind of what you get. Doesn't sound very scientific, but anyhow, that's not the main point here. Like the mandrakes, it's not going to really make them more fertile. Like people these days believe the horns of a rhinoceros is going to make you fertile. All those kinds of things, which is not scientific, that's nonsense. But anyhow, people still believe it, right? Okay. So, let's continue. Verse 38. He says the sticks that he had peeled in front of the flock in the troughs, that is the watering place, where the flock came to drink. And since they bred, when they came to drink, the flocks bred in front of the sticks, and so the flocks brought forth stripped, speckled, and spotted. Okay? So, here now we have striped as well added. Right, so the flock is, when they came to drink, this is where Joseph put all these sticks. This is the time when they were mating as well after drinking. And so Joseph knew this, Jacob knew this. Jacob therefore did it at that time. And he believed in, according to this kind of selective breeding, that this will now lead to these kinds of lambs or sheep or lambs and goats to be born. Verse 40. And Jacob separated the lambs and set the faces of the flocks toward the stripe and all the black in the flock of Laban. He put his own droves apart and did not put them with Laban's flock. Okay, so he sets his now that's been born apart so that they're not mixing with Laban's group, and in that sense that Laban is then not getting anything from this. It's just his flock with their genetic material is now breeding, and they will grow stronger more on that side, and Laban's flock basically taking from Laban as well and adding to his, ultimately by the selective breeding. He's going to do a lot of selective breeding in these verses. Verse 41. Whenever the stronger of the flock were breeding, Jacob would lay the sticks in the troughs before the eyes of the flock, that they might breed among the sticks. But for the feebler of the flock, he would not lay them there. So the feebler would be Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. Okay, so here he understood as well that he knew which one the strongest, he knew which lambs and goats are the feebler. So he didn't want those genetic material in his flock. So when the feebler were coming or there, then he didn't do anything. When the stronger were there, he did, so that they will be breeding, so that he can get just the strongest and Laban will get the weakest. Right? This is first example. I mean, in this case, yes, sure. Selective breeding, we know that is possible. The stronger with the stronger you get. I mean, that is why humans more often than not wants to like girls maybe once they don't like intelligent guys always, right? But they want kind of to marry them because they know their children will have that kind of a mindset. I mean, this is kind of normal. Okay, so this is what Jacob could do. This is scientific. Verse 43. Thus the man increased greatly and had large flocks, female servants and male servants, and camels and donkeys. So ultimately this then led to this increase, but now in this case is him out deceiving his father-in-law, or out scientifically. He's using more science because he had 14 years of experience with the flocks. He learned on the job. He knows which is the strong, he knows the weakest, he knows which one stripe spotted. He for 14 years was checking this out, right? So he knew which lambs might give, which sheep might give. Then ultimately, the striped, the spotted, he knew, right? So he knew how to do this, how to manipulate, how to deceive Laban, how to get it. So he was basically using science then in a certain way, and understandably as well, as we're going to see in the next chapter, God's blessing. Because up to now, all of this happened. Laban's flocks were blessed because of God. This is now here being blessed because of God.